Hello, I'm Peter Fenrich. Welcome to Teaching Skills for Post-Secondary Educators. This video is based on Chapter 2, Systematic Instructional Design of my book, Practical Principles of Instructional Design. By the end of this presentation, you should be able to conduct the cluster analysis type of subordinate skills analysis. A goal analysis often leads to too many steps to all be taught at once. Another problem is that the learner might need more information prior to learning a goal analysis step. For example, in the Conduct a Goal Analysis video, when throwing a baseball, one needs more information to determine the throwing force needed and estimate when to release the baseball. Consequently, you need to break goal analysis steps into smaller components using a subordinate skills analysis. For each learning domain, you need to conduct a different type of subordinate skills analysis. For the foundational knowledge domain, conduct a cluster analysis. For the intellectual skills domain, conduct a hierarchical analysis. For the physical skills domain, conduct a procedural analysis. For the affective domain, the subordinate skills analysis is based on why individuals make a decision or choice and what they must do to show the decision or choice they made. In this presentation, we will discuss how to conduct a cluster analysis. With foundational knowledge, derive subordinate skills through a cluster analysis. In conducting a cluster analysis, identify the knowledge that is needed to achieve the goal. After you gather the information, organize the knowledge into logical groupings. Logical groupings should have up to 5 pieces of information for weaker or younger learners, or up to 7 pieces of information for brighter or older learners. Humans can only process a limited amount of information at one time. Factor this limitation into the design. If you have doubts about your learner's abilities, choose smaller groupings. Foundational knowledge is essential in providing the knowledge base needed for higher level skills. To save development time and to give yourself more time to focus on learning outcomes that your students need more help with, such as higher level thinking skills, you can require your students to learn the foundational knowledge on their own and then learn from what you create. Two of the ways your students can learn foundational knowledge is through selected readings and finding answers to a set of questions. Given the sea animals, clam, cod, cuttlefish, dolphin, mussel, octopus, oyster, porpoise, salmon, scallop, shark, squid, tuna, and whale, a cluster analysis for those sea animals could be cephalopods, cuttlefish, octopus, squid, cetaceans, dolphin, porpoise, whale, fish, cod, salmon, tuna, mollusks, clam, mussel, oyster, scallop, cetacean, shark. Other clusters may be more appropriate for different audiences. It is reasonable to have a cluster with one item in it. Pause the video to analyze the cluster analysis. Click play to continue. A class of elementary school students are learning the names of their basic external body parts. Create a cluster analysis for the body parts. Pause the video. Click play when you're ready to compare your cluster analysis to mine. Note that there are only 4 body areas. a maximum of 5 major parts for each body area, a manageable number of smaller parts. Pause the video to further compare your cluster analysis to mine. Click play when you're ready to continue. Think about what you have just learned. Why is it important to conduct a cluster analysis after the goal analysis has been done? Pause the video. Click play when you're ready to compare your answer to mine. The sequential steps derived in the goal analysis are often too large to be taught all at once. Also, learners sometimes need skills before a step can be done. Consequently, you need to break the steps into smaller components using a cluster analysis, which is one type of subordinate skills analysis. With foundational knowledge, you should determine the subordinate skills through conducting a cluster analysis. Write down the steps needed for conducting a cluster analysis. Pause the video. Click play when you're ready to compare what you have to my key points to remember. In conducting a cluster analysis, identify the knowledge needed to achieve the goal. After you gather the information, organize the information into logical groupings. Factor the limitation of brain capacity into your design. You have finished the lesson. After hard work, it's perfectly reasonable to reward yourself. The content in this presentation and the others in the series are based on my book. I wrote the book because post-secondary educators are hired for their content expertise. They often have little or no training in their profession of teaching. This interactive book aims to solve that problem by providing just-in-time learning in how to teach effectively. This book contains far more detail than is reasonable to provide in the presentations. If you would like the book, the link in my YouTube channel takes you to Amazon.